it's like they were trying to pander to all these different groups, and they were like, okay, there's we're going after the rich, so everybody that hates the rich, all the Occupy Wall Street guys, come on our side. We're going after environmentalism, so all the people that are pro-environmentalism, sustainable growth, come on our side. We're going for healthy food. All the people that are pro farming, local farming, and that come on our side. It's just like again, like they're just like trying to throw out all these different messages to pander to as many groups as possible, which just takes away again from that central message of a truly green policy that people from both sides of the aisle can back. Which is just not taking place.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like, oh, man, we could go down
Yeah,
a rabbit hole talking about the non-environmental aspects of the Green New Deal.
Yeah.
And that fact in itself is why it's so problematic. And I think we talked about this right from the beginning, is that you're tangling too many things together here. And if you want to get something passed and you're really sincere about your interest in doing something good for the environment, what you don't do is bundle it with a bunch of complex ideas that will detriment it being passed. So it's a no-brainer to me. This should, if you truly were interested in the benefit of the environment, then these things need to be dealt with on a separate basis. I understand that they're interconnected because the environment, our economic system, and the people that do the work, we're all connected here. But so it's not to say it needs to not be developed with considerations to these other aspects, but fundamentally, I think from a political standpoint, it needs to be I would love to see it as a separate entity for us to discuss and take apart, without having, because I think in a lot of cases in the U.S., if this gets discussed, well, maybe not, but I was going to say that the environment will fall to the side, to be pushed aside with people debating all the other topics in here, and you can already see that in the hierarchy or in the prioritization of the listings. Now, I wanted to actually push back a little bit on that, because I do agree. I think it is actually honestly done based on hierarchy, but then again, there is no actual clear stipulation that that the order of things are an indication of the priority. Because if you have things that are equally important, that you think are equally important, how do you put them on the list at the same time? You always one has to fall before the other, right? I think in this case you have nailed it on the head, and I don't think the environment part of this is in there as a priority. I think it's in there to get the environmentalists on board with everything else. But I just wanted to point out that a list can be created, obviously, that has things that are priorities, but they can't be all listed as number one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if that was the case, then it'd be like, in no particular order of significance, or there'd be something like that.
Some wording like that.
I don't know.
Amongst all
but
the other
just wording. Like when you're talking about how, that there's been no socioeconomic mobility in the U.S., like, to me, you have to be completely blind to what is happening in the world if you think that there's no socioeconomic mobility in the U.S. or North America, where you can't go from being poor to rich in one lifetime generation. So, to me, that's so patently absurd, because when you look at the rest of the world, where you literally have dictators and oligarchs that are running total systems of commerce within countries, that's where you truly see no economic mobility. When you're the poorest of the poor, everything is run by a select few people, and there's absolutely no way for you to get on top. That's not the case in North America. That is absolutely not the case. You have the ability within one lifetime, within one generation, to make a fortune for yourself. We've seen countless numbers of people do it right in front of our eyes. We saw Amazon grow in front of us. Like, it's unprecedented. Not everybody can do it. It's tough, but that's what true social economic mobility is about. And for you to say that that doesn't exist, then in like the part of the world where that's probably like at its greatest, it's just so blind